Hey everybody, and welcome to Cross and Kin and the Cross and Kin living room where we have both AC and a ceiling fan as it is the end of July and quite frankly it is too hot in the Cross and Kin garage. You will be seeing it again hopefully around September, maybe. I'm Kristen.
I'm Randy. Welcome. We're glad that you're here.
And today I am super excited because today we are discussing comic books, specifically the comics from the company Allegiance Arts. Now, if you don't know that name, don't worry, we're going to tell you all about them, starting with their founder.
Is this the first comic book episode we've had so far?
Technically, yes, because I did the MCU ranking, but this is the first time we are specifically hiding the comics.
Well, this is a great comic book company to highlight. This, in fact, comes from, well, let me set the stage.
Set
The
it.
year was 1993.
I was not born.
Kristen was not born. It was a banner year for our hometown here. I was the store manager of a company called Hastings Entertainment, and we brought that store to this town. It is a town that we hired about 40 to 45 people to help open the store. Brilliant. Absolutely love that opening crew. All the folks who worked for Hastings 96, 97, great shout out to you guys. Um, but those of you who were the openers, well, let's just face it, we were a special team. And part of that team was a young man who was an art student here at Harding University. His name is Mitchell Brightweiser. He helped us open Hastings 96, 97 here in Searcy, and he was integral in developing not only our magazine department, but showing me the way in comic books. He was an incredible comic book fan and eventually became our magazine and comic book manager continually in that time frame, making strides in making sure that our market had the magazines and comic books, which in 93 didn't have the kind of flash and cool vibe that they do now. Again, you know, it was kind of a down period for comic books and graphic novels for that matter. But Mitch always kept us on the front lines of what was happening new, and everything going that he developed the comic book market here as far as I'm concerned in Searcy. Um, great worker. And then later on, he became an artist for Marvel.
He designed the Guardians of the Galaxy
He
for a little bit, didn't
he
he?
he drew Drax for a little while. He's also drawn Captain America.
I actually have a comic book, a couple of comic books that are both signed by him. One of them has a free hand drawing of Cap in it, and I will treasure those until my dying day.
I had coffee with him in Little Rock one day and happened to have one of Kristen's graphic novels, and he sat there the whole time and just free-handed Captain America. I was jaw-dropping experience. Absolutely brilliant animator. He and his wife have developed, his wife Elizabeth, have developed Allegiance Arts. They both worked for Marvel, I believe, for about 10 years, and then decided that they wanted to move back to Arkansas and start their own comic book company. The result is Allegiance Arts.
As soon as it launched, my dad told me he had a friend who had a comic book company. And being the gigantic nerd that I am, I then proceeded to begin hunting these comics. It is actually hard to find physical copies of these comics. For a time, they were at Walmart, but I think that deal was finished right after the third issue of all of these series that I have here on the couch with us were released. I will link down into their website down in the description below. You can get them all on digital form, and I think you can order them in big graphic novel, like the whole volume or the whole season. They do call them seasons. I think you can order the whole season in a big book form. I'm not 100% certain on that. Go check out
And
allegiancearts.com.
this is not just a big commercial for my friend Mitch. Please understand that.
No,
Uh, these comic books, these are a sample of some of the comic books that are out there. Comic books are huge again right
mm,
now. You can go to a variety of places. Most flea markets will have comic books. Some are better than others, and you really do have to be careful, especially if you want to be that collector type person. If you just love modern art, so to speak. This is really our modern art. We've talked about soundtracks being the classical music of our day and age. Well, I'll tell you, in a lot of ways, this is the artwork, the classic artwork of our generation.
And it's not just Mr. Brightweiser that does art on these comics. This one right here, Red Rooster, here, that's Mitch. This is Mitch's book. This is a very fun book to read, especially if you are into old superhero type stuff. This is kind of a throwback to old superheroes, and it's so fun.
Red Rooster is not Captain America, nor
Oh,
is he the Tick.
no, 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 no. He is so different from most superheroes that I've read. But if superheroes aren't necessarily your jam, we also have Bass Reeves. This is a historical
It's historically accurate.
it's historically accurate. Based on my own research, in the back of the book, it actually has kind of the full history about the man himself. The man himself, like we said, Bass Reeves was a real person, was the inspiration for the Lone Ranger.
And Bass Reeves was a native Arkansan.
Yes, he homesteaded here in Arkansas. So, Bass Reeves, we definitely
Huge
support
fans.
huge fans. Huge fans. We certainly support this graphic novel. Bass Reeves is very unique in its art style, I would say, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Mitch and Elizabeth are not the exclusive artists or creative people behind. I mean, they are the people behind Allegiance Arts. However, they're smart enough to know that they can pull in people with great strength to write, to draw, to colorize. This process, Mitch was explaining a little bit of it to me. It's absolutely fascinating. It's not just artists who sit and sketch and poof, there's a comic book. There is a great deal of work that goes in behind these. So if you like to read and you're entertained by bright colors and by great art, please invest in comic books today.
Not only are they beautifully drawn, but they're actually a lot of them are really intriguing stories, especially these back two here. Daddy, would you pick up that one? This one here is The Futurists. Its story is rather confusing. I still haven't quite figured it out, but I'm very invested in it. And the one Dad has is Nora's Saga. Nora's Saga is also a little confusing, but I can kind of explain it better. Basically, some sort of timey-wimey stuff happens, and the titular Nora winds up in ye olden Scandinavia. That is the most bare bones explanation of it. Please go check out that book because it is far more interesting than what I probably just made it sound. But yeah, all four of these. There is another comic produced by Allegiance Arts. It is called The Saints. Their deal with Walmart ended before that was published, so I do not have a physical copy of it as of yet.
Yet,
But the Saints is also, it looks kind of like, based on what I've read, it's kind of like the Illuminati. The Illuminati with guns.
well,
So it's
and
interesting.
here's something to point out at this stage. Originally, when comic books came out, you wound up with Marvel and DC.
Hmm.
They were the big heavy hitters. There just weren't any room. The grand, if you will, the classic era of comic books when Spider-Man and
Fantastic
Batman
Four.
and Fantastic Four and all of these incredibly creative jumped from being just cartoons into being art and being great storylines and being great books in and of themselves. The universe, if you will, has expanded now. There's
Now we have,
Dark Horse.
there you
There
go. That's
is
where I was going.
DC Marvel Dark Horse. There is Allegiance Arts.
There are 1,000 other comic book
And a
companies.
lot of them do some incredible, incredible work. We would encourage you if you like if you like, and it's not, and that's not even to say anything about the Japanimation and those arts that
The
are out
anime
there now.
and
The
manga.
anime. I'm sorry, I'm using a '90s term. Anime and manga.
Manga.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I am now hip to the jive. So we're just saying if you want to explore a whole new world of art and story combining to make just incredible, incredible things, check out comic books today.
And if you want a place to start without having to dip your toe into the massive and sometimes messy fandoms that are DC and Marvel, start with Allegiance Arts. They are small, but they are mighty. They have their own hashtag, which are actually printed on the back of these books, called My AAE, which I will be using down in the description as well. Um, and just, yeah, check out Allegiance Arts. And like we've already said, there's something here for everybody. Red Rooster for your comic, for your classic superhero
Superhero.
fare. Bass Reeves for you history nuts. Nora's Saga and the Futurists for those of you who like timey-wimey and weird. Um,
A little more science fiction.
yes, science fictiony. Um, there's something for everybody. Again, I don't know that much about the Saints. I know that it kind of has like a maybe political, maybe Illuminati. I have no earthly idea. I've not been able to research it quite as hard as I would have liked, but the Saints looks, if nothing else, intriguing and beautifully, beautifully rendered in comic book form.
And again, this comes to you from some incredibly gifted, seasoned veterans in the industry who know what they're doing and know what the fans want. So if you get the opportunity, check out Allegiance Arts and the other myriad of independent comic book lines that are out there because DC and Marvel, we think they're doing okay.
Yeah. And we would love to one day see Allegiance Arts join them at the top of the mountain in comic book land. So, this is a shorter Crossing Kin, yes, but you know what? We wanted to highlight these comics not just because Dad is friends with the creators of them, but because they're genuinely good comic books. And hey, it's our channel. We get to talk about the stuff we like.
And we are grateful that you like to watch us.
Yes. So if you are a comic book nerd, if you are at all interested in anything that we've talked about, please find some Allegiance Arts comic books. Again, I will link their website down in the description below. And yeah, just enjoy.
Enjoy your summer. It's too hot, really, sometimes to do too
It
much
is in
outside.
Arkansas.
Get an iced tea or your favorite beverage and
Curl up with a comic book.
curl up with a comic book. That's not Batman or Superman or
Those guys get
Iron
boring.
Man.
Oh, Iron Man never gets boring. But
Iron
Batman and Superman get a little boring from time to time, so why not replace them with Allegiance Arts? I'm a Marvel girl and an Allegiance Arts girl. I have my biases. But that's it for us from Cross and Kin today. We do so thank you for coming by and joining us for this little introduction, probably for most of you, to Allegiance.
For us here at Crossing Kid, we hope that you're staying cool this summer.
And we hope that you go and check out Allegiance Arts.
We're glad you're part of the family. As always, thanks for watching.
Bye.